everyone, Jordan Cooper here, Elite Realty. Today I wanted to go over the 5 things I would do if I were to go buy a home and how I would do these steps. So let's jump right into it. All right, that brings me to my number 1 step is going to find an agent. An agent is going to be your tour guide. And by the way, when you're buying a home, if you buy it on the general market, you normally don't have to pay any commission. So that happens in our state, it happens in most states. So you can always double check, but most of the time the houses that are listed, there's an advertised payout, so you don't actually have to pay them for their service. It's literally included. It's kind of a weird thing, but when you go and sell the house, that's when you pay all the commission. But anyways, find a good agent. And how do you do that, you might ask, is first of all, if you're buying out of state, you can look up and try to do some research on the best local realtors for that area, who pops up the most and some stuff like that. Next, you can ask for friends and family's recommendations. If you post on Facebook, I promise you, or any social media, hey, I'm looking for an agent, you will probably get blown up with comments, blah, 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 use blah, 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 use blah, blah, blah. And you can look down that list. Who gets brought up the most times? And that's usually a good fit for you. So there's number 1. Step number 2 is getting pre-approved, or if you're doing cash, doing a proof of funds. Guess what? You can normally ask your real estate agent if they recommend any sort of lender. And sometimes they will bring that up on the phone call. I know if you call me, that's what one of the things I'm going to bring up is, how do you plan to purchase it? Is it financing, cash? What are you trying to do? So most people choose the financing option. So it's really big for me to pair you with the right person for your needs. I have 3 lenders that I recommend. And it's just going to depend on what you're trying to do. So your real estate agent will probably be able to guide you in the best direction. I'm not the biggest fan of the huge banks, and the reason being is they are normally open 9 to 5. No one answers their phone or anything after the timeline. So when it comes down to it, if you see a house at 7 o'clock at night, usually you're not going to get a response as far as mortgage payment or any of those things. So that's huge, because when you're out looking, most of the time when you're looking, it's probably going to be the weekends or nights. So just keep that in mind. So get pre-approved. Step number 3 is making sure you get all your ducks in the row. So you've already talked about financing, but making sure everything else is in place. So for example, if you're currently leasing or staying with someone, making sure we know what timeline that is, as well as if you currently own a home, trying to figure out what we're going to do with that. Maybe you're going to rent it and keep it. Maybe you're going to sell it. All those things, talk to your real estate agent. Make sure that they understand exactly what you're trying to do, so that way they can set up the timelines for you, so that way you're not homeless. That brings me to step number 4. When you find your dream home that you want to buy and you write an offer, make sure that you write it contingent upon inspections. So no matter how busy the market is, if it's a newer home, I understand. That's the only time that I'm like, okay, you can make that decision. Let you know, of course, new homes can still have problems, but usually writing contingent upon inspections is very good for you. Now, your real estate agent will be able to guide you and think what be able to, and it's their job to do so. Now, I normally tell people I would rather you keep the inspections and write a higher offer, because that way we at least know about the inspections and understand the full ability. For example, in our state, most things are public sewer, public water in our areas. Well, a new sewer line can cost 15 grand. There could be mold in the attic. Things that we're not thinking of that aren't in the plain view. So that's what these inspectors' job is to go out and look at these homes. So I always say write it contingent upon inspections. Your realtor should be able to do that, and they most of the time will guide you in that direction. But if there's a certain case that where, right now it's been so competitive, so some people have been removing inspections, and that is completely your choice. I always just recommend it on the newer homes, not the older ones. So that's step number 4. Step number 5 is realizing things happen and thinking about it not so much from the emotional standpoint, but from, hey, this is a home and some things are going to happen. So when you get to the inspections, I call it a speed bump of some sort. So you're running, you're excited, everything's great. That inspector's job is to go in there and kind of make you not feel so good about the house. And not saying it's a bad thing, but he's supposed to tell you the honest truth of things that are going on in that house. So keep that in mind. Same thing with the lender. If the lender's saying, hey, we need you to do an extra part for the down payment or any of these things, they're being honest with you. Everyone wants to get you this house. No one's trying to stop you. So just keep that in mind. Next thing is, after you do move in, be prepared for things to break. It's unfortunately it's the worst thing in the world. It happened to me. It happens to everybody. Is when you move in, you're gonna find some things that don't work in your house. So just prepare for those things. Just because. So last thing I want you to do is use all your money for the house and don't have any money to fix some things up when you get there. So, but enjoy the shopping. Basically, the whole steps are if you get a real estate agent, they will be your tour guide from start to finish all the way through. So I know if you're looking in Missouri and St. Louis or so, I would love to help you. But keep that in mind. Get out there, go buy a house. It's the best thing that I've ever done, and I love my job. And good luck, guys.